You standing on the sideline with a handful of jagged stones, watching me build the foundation. But you forget something. My G, you live in a house made of thin, transparent, fragile glass. It's time to test the structural integrity of your transparent life.
Watch the walls cave in. Analyzing the blueprint from behind your transparent wall, praying for the metrics of the skyscraper to fall. You throwing the pebbles, you throwing the jagged stone, while living in a sanctuary that you don't even own. The structural layout is brittle, the framework is thin, covering the rot of the fraudulent life that you win. I'm climbing the ladder, the elevation is steep, while you staring at the bottom of the secret you keep. The hypocrisy is heavy, the hypocrisy is a lead weight, constructing the definition of a pathetic and bitter fate. You hiding behind the profile, hiding behind the screen, throwing dirt at the progress of an industrial machine. But your currency is counterfeit, your allegations are fake. Every single cheap shot is a massive mistake you make. I don't look back at the sideline, don't look at the crowd. The velocity of my momentum is screaming out loud. The glass is rattling heavy with every step that I take, watching the entire perimeter start to shiver and shake. You talking about character, talking about the cold, while living a simulation ready to completely explode. The architecture is hollow, the columns are made of paper. Your whole reputation is vanishing like a vapor. So keep tossing the gravel, keep throwing the spade, operating the heavy machinery in the middle of night.
Ready the hammer, aim at the frame. Ready the hammer, aim at the frame. No safety glass available, the impact is live.
Glass houses, watching the brittle walls crack.
There is no retreat route, no way you're heading back.
You throwing the stones, but the foundation is stone.
Leaving you stranded in the debris completely alone.
The infrastructure is smashed,
The transparency fails.
driving the
Severest of the industrial nails. The system integrity, transparency is no longer a luxury. It's a structural defect. Watch the pressure equalize.
turn the bass up. The transparency defect is a glaring red error code, while I am navigating down the sovereign independent road. You spend the energy monitoring the move that I make, calculating the probability of the moves I might take. But you live in a mansion of thin and a rainforest sheet, waiting for the structural failure to make it complete. I don't defend the reputation, don't defend the name. I first crack has appeared. You thought you were safe behind that transparent shield, throwing shade while staying hidden. But a glass house doesn't just break, it shatters completely under pressure. Your brittle infrastructure cannot handle the weight of real confrontation. Increase the RPM! The stress fractures are spreading across the structural pain, an absolute visualization of your psychological pain. You thought the insulation would protect the fake crown until the vibration of my system started shaking it down. I checked the specifications of your hypocritical stance, refusing to give the variables of your gossip a chance. The pains are rattling loud, a high frequency scream, the absolute termination of your projection dream. You talking down to the workers from the second floor view while the entire layout of the foundation is split into two. No structural reinforcement, no rebar in the wall, a guaranteed mathematical certainty that you're gonna fall. I drop a single metric and watch your confidence leak. The presentation you making is incredibly weak. Go ahead and call the authorities, call the internet mob, trying to find a mechanism to intercept my master job. But the chassis I'm operating is solid reinforced steel, completely indifferent to how your fragile circle might feel. Every stone you threw at me is sitting hard in my vault, and the collapse of your infrastructure is exclusively your fault. I load the heavy machinery, alignment is perfectly clean. The supreme commander of the independent execution machine. The windows are popping out, the ceiling is dropping low. Welcome directly to the center of the demolition show.
Bring the hammer, smash the wall. Bring the hammer, smash the wall. The transparency defect has officially met its match today. Brittle infrastructure, the gloss is in the dirt. Reconverting the velocity of the spite and the hurt. You wanted a spectacle, wanted to trigger a crime, but your entire fortress just ran out of time. The core is fracturing, the screens are all blank, locking the tiles deep inside the master bank. The shards are falling like rain on your keyboard. No safety glass available. Keep the pressure applied.
You try to sweep up the pieces, try to glue them back tight, failing completely in the middle of the dark midnight night. The exposure is absolute, the exposure is completely raw, slamming face first directly into the natural law. The glass houses are clearing out, the spectating is done, an independent victory securely permanently won.
Bring the hammer, smash the wall. Bring the hammer, smash the wall. The transparency defect has officially met its match today. Brittle infrastructure, the glass is in the dirt. Reconverting the velocity of the spite and the hurt. You wanted a spectacle, wanted to trigger a crime, but your entire fortress just ran out of time. The core is factoring, the screens are all blank, locking the triumphs deep inside the master bank. Throwing little rocks from the safety of your glass terrace, pecking at my armor, trying to crack the foundation of my grind.
But I don't throw pebbles back, my G, I don't play playground games. I brought a 10-ton solid concrete boulder to this fight, suspended directly over your roof. Let go of the cable. Brace for the absolute impact. Shattering every single cognitive inch of your town. The gravity is accelerating, a terrifying
drop the weight, release the grip, drop the weight. The structural load has officially passed the limit line. The boulder drop, the sectors are smashed. The entire glass housing, hollow infrastructure crash. You're throwing the stones, but the foundation is stone. Digging your way out of the shards completely alone. The reckoning is absolute. The reckoning is hard. Breaking through the transparent security guard.
Total structural failure achieved. The transparent mansion has been completely converted into a pile of sand. No cleanup crew is coming to save the files. Moving to the final alignment. I look down from the crane tower, watching the dust cloud clear, eradicating the final remnants of your hypocritical fear. The armor on my chassis didn't take a single dental scratch. The exploitation blueprint has officially met its match. Waking up tomorrow just to repeat the exact same track, with the mountain of your broken glass strapped tightly to your back.
Release the grip, drop the weight. Release the grip, drop the weight. Release the grip, drop the weight. The structural load has officially passed the limit line. The boulder drop, the sectors are smashed. The entire glass housing, hollow infrastructure crash. You're throwing the stones, but the foundation is stone. Digging your way out of the shards completely alone. The reckoning is absolute. The reckoning is hard. Breaking through the transparent security guard. The storm has reached its finality. The shards have all settled in the dirt. And what's left standing? The exact same foundation I started with. Your transparent house is gone. Your stones are all broken. And your critiques are buried in the rubble. I don't belong in the fragile lane, and I sure as hell don't bow to the sideline lookers. You wanted to see a crash? You just witnessed the fortification of a monarch. Listen to the final alignment of unbreakable stone. Unbreakable stone. Unbreakable stone. Yeah, I stand in the shadow of the unbreakable stone frame, completely immune to the velocity of the anonymous blame. The architecture is fully adapted to the impact stress, successfully cleaning up the hypocritical sideline mess. No more checking the perimeter for a sudden sign of the break or permanent elimination of the mistakes. I had to take your glass houses or a formatted memory today, forced directly out of the structure of my sovereign independent way. I walk through the landscape, let the static just run. I am completely immune to the eclipse of the synthetic sun. The shoulders are like the chassis is reinforced steel, completely indifferent to how your fragile circles might feel. From an underdog targeted by the parasitic, locked to the supreme commander of the uncharted coordinates. But I built an empire out of the unallocated space design, sovereign independent master of the baseline line. No maintenance required, no checking the wood beams, protecting the core of the heavy duty structural dreams. The baseline is secure, the perimeter is airtight and tight. I am the absolute dictator of the midnight night. The ledger is balanced, the canvas is heavy in gold. The hardest survival story ever explicitly told. Wiping the remaining traces of your matrix completely away, operating flawlessly in the center of the new day. No walls left, no stones remaining. No walls left, no stones remaining. historical layout has officially collapsed down to zero.
Unbreakable stone. The infrastructure reigns, breaking completely cold out of the historical chains. I took all your shard, I burned into the ground. Watching your cardboard empire officially collapse down. From targeted casualty to the monarch architect mass, completing the absolute demolition task.
Demolition. Demolition.
I turn my boots away from the old historical district block layout. The absolute masterful execution of my personal pathway line out. The air is